Budley. He never does this when I'm just up here.
It's because he doesn't like you as much as he likes me.
Fair. Hello, this is Matt O'Leary, and I'm here with my wife today, Nina, doing another couple power video. Today we're going through our top 5 House of Heroes songs, which you just gotta realize that top 5 is an incredibly difficult number because this band is very meaningful to both of us.
Mm-hmm. So we went to a concert, a House of Heroes concert at a really tiny little venue in the Twin Cities in high school.
Was it the Beat?
It was the Beat Coffee House.
The Beat Coffee House.
And
St. Paul.
And this was one of the first times that we hung out together outside of a school situation, so it was very exciting.
Almost ran over a blind guy.
Which was very impressive to me.
Right off the bat.
Right off the bat. So I wasn't a House of Heroes listener, but when Matt and I started to be friends, you could say, we were burning CDs for each other. And right off the bat, I think you made sure that I had a House of Heroes kind of best of, in your opinion.
Totally. So mixed CDs of like all different songs and genres and bands, but then I made like one specifically for this band because they were my favorite band, I think. Yeah. Not only were they very important to the budding of our relationship and our relationship through music, but it was also extremely important in my own relationship with music on the whole. And if I look back, I don't think I had the context at the time, but this band was doing so many different genres all together. So they're doing these big prog rock songs, but essentially in 4 or 5 minutes, so sort of presented as like more of a power pop or punk sort of style. I would still measure everything I listen to up to this band. Like there's a standard that I feel like they set for like perfect song sequences, really interesting song sequences, and just core songwriting, chord progressions, melodies that I don't feel like many bands reach.
Yeah, they're just like a foundational band for us. They're
Absolutely.
a reference point, and they always will be a reference point for the way we listen to music now.
Totally. And I would say they're always wrestling with some theological topic. Like that is at the core of their sound in some respect. Or communism. Indeed. You do have a little lipstick on your left buck. That left buck will get you.
Every time.
Alright, so we're both going to say our number 5 song at the same time. This is from across their discography of what? I'd say 5 or 6 albums?
Yes, but okay, one more disclaimer is that...
Before we start?
One last disclaimer is that everything after Suburba, which was 2010.
Yeah.
I think you listened through a few times to those newer albums, but quickly...
They're not good. They're
quickly
really not
just
good.
X them out, and so I didn't even go there.
Yeah, they're very shallow and not anywhere near the same.
So if you do go listen on Spotify...
Yeah, stay away. Colors, like, don't do it. Just go back to The End Is Not the End.
Say No More and Suburba.
Then you're good, yes. It's basically those 3 albums that we're drawing from. I would guess, I don't know. Alright, number 5.
1, 2...
Wait, on 3 or on go?
1, 2, 3, say the name.
Okay.
Ready?
Number 5.
1, look me in the eyes.
That's too hard.
1, 2, 3. So
Buckets
Far
for
Away.
Bullet Wounds.
So
Far Away is...
Listen.
Okay, alright.
I have just the purest memory of walking back to the car after that show, and we were singing So Far Away, because it was stuck in our heads. After everything, after the whole show, So Far Away was stuck in our heads. And I remember just looking at the back of your head and howling that.
And it's a very vivid visual. And
yeah. And it was a sweet memory, but it also, I feel like, is purely catchy.
It's one of their more, like, just simplistic, straightforward.
Yeah, just like what you hear is what you get.
Good romp.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely not even close to my top 5. Buckets for Bullet Wounds is probably the corniest and most juvenile of picks. You know how there are songs where it's not even like the melody or the song writing or something gets stuck in your head, but it's like just the pure production, the sound is just drilled in your mind forever. That's that song to me. The guitars sound their heaviest, I think, that they ever did. And granted, it's just like...
Yeah. It's just pure distortion.
But I thought when I was hearing that, that was the coolest thing that I could imagine at age 12.
And the fact that the vocal follows that.
Oh, yeah. Another thing that the song brings that I think is unique and was a game changer for me is, well, just across the board, House of Heroes bridges are incredible. They're like the climax of the song, I feel like. And I feel like I really took...
Oh.
Yeah, and I don't know if I realized, you know, as a kid, with what I was listening to at the time, that you could just take a heavy rock song and then just drop it out completely, sing a nice little verse, and then jump back into it. And I guess once I started listening to like more progressive rock, I realized that's something people do all the time. But House of Heroes does that so well, where they'll just take this super serene, soft part and juxtapose it against this incredibly grating, intense rock.
That song has a classic bridge.
Yes.
So
Pups in My Kitchen is...
So give it a listen.
There was a girl next to me at the concert we went to where she just heard me sing that entire bridge and she was just like... Okay, number 4.
Oh, you're gonna hate me.
Numero 4. Is this one a pure like emotional? Is it like more objective?
1, 2, 3.
Relentless.
In the Valley of the Dying Sun. I know. Relentless.
Were you thinking I was going to be upset because that should be higher?
Yeah.
Relentless is the one pick where I feel like you were going to be surprised because it's not a classic House of Heroes song. But to me, I've always had a real thing for the first song on an album.
Yeah.
Like, that usually is my favorite song. And that one, I feel like, nails the tone and the mood and just sets it up perfectly. I mean, it's just got everything in there. It's got the little string line, and it's so Queen, like, heroes we become, like, all of that is like, and every time I listen to that chorus, I just get goosebumps. Fires we burn, relentless, and he's got like background vocals in the back that are just like, you could put that on any road trip and I would just be in heaven. Oh, by the way, all these songs are going to be in a Spotify playlist that I'll link below in the description box. It's a really good starting point, I think, for the band.
Okay, number 3.
Number 3.
Ready?
1, 2, 3. Field
God
of Daggers.
Save the Foolish Kings.
Okay.
Field of Daggers is 3?
Yeah. Is it in your top 5?
Yes.
Okay, alright.
God Save the Foolish Kings. God Save Us the Foolish Kings.
I think it's just God Save the Foolish Kings, yeah.
That is, like, so classic.
It's really great. It was definitely, like, honorable mention for me.
I feel hurt.
I'm sorry.
It's a classic high school tale.
Mm-hmm.
There's bleachers. There's gang fights, which that's not a classic high school thing, is it? The lead singer, Tim Skipper, ended up marrying Stephanie Smith, who has guest vocals on this song. I just feel like when Stephanie Smith entered the band
became way less cool.
So Stephanie, I'm sorry, but...
It's maybe correlation, not causation, but the harmonies on that thing are beautiful.
Yeah, there's a call and response between the guy and his lady, and the guy's like, I'm gonna go fight, and she's like, don't do it!
Be safe! I love in that song the bridge with the God voice. It's an over-the-top song, for sure, but that's kind of what
fun.
Makes it. It's just a screamer. It's a belter.
Yeah.
Like Relentless, I would say. I promise you one day. Love. 1, 2, 3. In the Valley of the Dying Sun.
But now we can talk about In the Valley of the Dying Sun.
Yeah,
that was my 4. It's your 2.
Yeah. So I think maybe the reason that you suspected that I would be disappointed that it should be higher on your list is because I think personally that this is objectively the best House of Heroes song. I think it's the song that I would recommend first that people listen to from the band. I feel like it's 7 minutes in my mind, 7 or 8 minutes, but it's 4 minutes. It's just like they get right to the chase, but there are so many. It's so dense. They do a verse, chorus, which are great, but then they have like 4 other massive disparate parts that aren't even like are connected but aren't necessarily related to each other, or you wouldn't put together. It's prog for sure. And there's that part that's like I can't even sing it because it's so ridiculous, and I still don't know how they got that exact sound. But whatever it is, they just pull it off like one time. That's the thing about them. They don't they don't stick on it for too long because
they don't belabor it.
Yeah, it's just like 4 measures, 8 measures, then they're done with that, and you're just like, you want it back, so you end up listening to the song over and over again. And then I think there's a part in it too where there are 27 vocal tracks that are in there, and they're just screaming out. Also, the song is like one of their most biblical, like obviously biblical.
Yeah, I did not know that son was S-O-N.
It kind of follows the story of Jacob, I feel like, or it's related to Jacob.
Yeah, those wailing, that gang vocal. It's not even a gang vocal, it's like a full congregation vocal.
Yeah.
It's a full congregation of old people with super intense vibratos, which is my favorite. I feel like if you're going to listen to one of these songs, listen to this one.
Just start with that one.
Codename Raven for me is so fun to sing along with.
It's great.
A lot of these songs I ranked based on my amount of pleasure while being able to just scream along with them in the car. Mm-hmm. And Codename Raven is part of their kind of grouping of songs that's about war, which again, it's really funny thinking about House of Heroes because like they didn't go to war, they were not in gangs. They're singing about a lot of things.
They made an album about their actual life as suburban kids.
There may be some heavy-handed references, but they're so fun. Like there's portions where there's just a group of men.
Military men.
Men singing a part of the song, which is so just like meaty and delicious, and it's like you don't hear that in songs. It's just a bunch of men singing in unison in just a deep baritone.
Yeah, I have a clear memory of when this album was going to come out, which was 2008. At that time, MySpace was still the jam. So I was on MySpace, and they put these little snippets of the songs in, and they're like 15 seconds, and I just listened to them so many times and just remember the exact parts in the songs that they had in those snippets, and just being so amped for this album to come out.
I mean, this chorus is so good.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when it cuts out right before it, and it's just, sing while the city together. Fear not, my downcast brothers, we are the strong arm of love.
Bear, you frickin' dunce.
Cat is eating the records.
Our number 1, numero uno,
right?
House of Heroes song. 1, 2, 3, Angels and Top
Daggers.
Hats.
I knew it. Field of Daggers is my number 1.
It's just beautiful. I would say, if In the Valley of the Dying Sun and Codename Raven and God Save the Foolish Kings, if those songs are really over the top and a lot, Field of Daggers is probably their most heartfelt. I don't know how else to say it. There are children fighting outside our house right now. Are there adults fighting with children? Hopefully not.
Field of Daggers for me gets straight to my heart. Mm-hmm. I don't know why exactly. I think the lyrics are powerful.
The verses are really great.
I think it shows a restraint that many of the other songs don't.
It's a prayerful sort of song with plenty of like really gorgeous metaphors and stuff.
I mean, the phrase "woe to the king of nothing."
Yeah, that's actually, I thought if I got a tattoo, that would be up there for something I would tattoo on my body. I'm
not necessarily having like a really fun time with it, but I feel like it's the one I admire and respect the most.
And the ending, I mean, is incredible too, with like just that chord progression is so gorgeous with the acoustic guitar and the strings.
Mm-hmm.
And,
but also just the hollering.
Yeah.
He was and is to come.
Yeah, well, when you're in concert, that's the moment of the concert, is singing that. Because it's just, again, like, just hits it one time, and you're done. And it's just so anthemic.
I spent many, many years as a worship leader in Christian churches. And so a big chorus that has those words, I feel like I've had so many incredibly powerful experiences with saying those things, proclaiming those things, that it's just awesome to hear it in a rock song, and that it's like the climax of the song, and it makes so much sense, and it's just like,
where it all comes together. Yeah, and it's a truly triumphant moment where there's no air of cynicism. Yeah. It's just pure passion and pure victory.
Yeah.
And woe to the king of nothing.
And it's victory of the highest ever. It's the highest possible victory. It's like the victory of the entire universe.
Usually that's done in a really sanctimonious way or a corny way, and it doesn't work, but here it just,
I can get behind it 100%.
Yeah.
There's a big moment and then there's a gradual slowdown, and then they come back in with a really aggressive, proggy. There's been such a nice shape to the whole song, and you're like, wow. And then it comes back in and it's just like...
So my number one is Angels in Top Hats from Say No More, which is actually a long song. It's 8 minutes. This was the first progressive rock song, I feel like, that I heard. I mean, I was listening to like Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd and things, which, I mean, they're progressive, especially Pink Floyd, but I feel like this one, in just the agility of it, was something new to me, and also, again, presented in a more modern lens. Angels in Top Hats is just a journey, and just makes me very emotional every time I hear it, again, because the sound of it is just ingrained in my mind, and it has so many memories for me with my friends, growing up. It's just heart in your hand, wears it right on your sleeve. Just like every emotion and every teenage angst just poured out. And it's a story of this girl in a coma, who, basically her friend is talking to her while she's sleeping.
I was thinking about Camus, The Plague.
Oh.
When I hear it. This song is so good. Like, this song is a full moment.
Yeah, it's my favorite.
I don't want to call it a song. Like, it doesn't seem like a song to me. It's like, it's a journey. It's an experience.
Here we are in the dark, still talking about House of Heroes.
Really, please, in the description box, there is a link to a playlist of these songs that we're talking about, and they're so good.
Yeah,
I think that you will probably enjoy them if you spend a little time with them, almost no matter what your musical preference is.
All right, so from all of us here at this YouTube channel, at this minuscule YouTube channel.
No, wait.
Yeah. Okay. The pajama pants come out. This
was really fun for us to do, and if you want to see Matt do more of these videos by himself, or if you would like to see us do them together, let us know, because this is a nice way to talk about music that isn't necessarily up and coming, but that deserves to be listened to.
Should we say it together?
What?
Thank you so much for watching. Now you will go get us
wongs.
Wongs. Oh, no.
Fear not, I Daggers brothers. We are the strong arm of the Lord.